Joined once again by Robert Nickell, Mr. Daddy himself. Okay, you know the story by now. A total of how many children? Six children. Wow. So definitely been there, done that.
Yep.
The whole 9
Planning
years.
on number 7 next year.
Are you serious? Wow.
My wife wants to go. Oh, I do. I love them. They're fantastic.
Well, that's great. That's absolutely great. So you know, you're an expert on this. Then how to bond with your kids from being, even in the womb to being an adult, because you've done it all and you have children who are now adults.
To me, bonding, you talk about in the womb, there are studies out there, and they are true, the baby does hear your voice. So when, in fact, our 8-week-old was just born, as soon as he came out, I'm holding him, I'm like, I'm Daddy, and you could see him instantly calm down. So they do know that. And I think that to bond with your children, there's a couple of things you need to do. One is you need to get down at their level. So for the 8-week-old right now, if he's on the changing table, I am down in his face.
Okay.
You know, and I'm just like, hi, how you doing? I'm just trying to give him all the facial expressions I possibly can. And I'll tell him jokes or stories. I'll just tell him anything. But I really engage him so that he's looking me in the eye. And with my 21-month-old, what I try to do is be with him. So if he's on the floor, I'm on the floor. As a dad, don't worry about what you're wearing. Don't worry about walking in the sand. Don't worry about sitting in the mud. Don't worry about picking up spiders or anything. Don't worry about being able to pick up a dirty kid and holding him to your chest.
Just wear the daddy scrub.
Right.
It's fine. You can get those dirty.
Exactly. But never, just be with your children. My 21-month-old and I, we'll go out and we go cat hunting. Not hunting, but looking for cats.
Just look for cats.
Searching,
sure.
cat searching.
Just anything to make it fun for them.
Right.
Yeah.
Or we look for the roly-poly jungle. And I just kind of follow him sometimes. I follow his lead. And so I think that's part of bonding. The other, so you want to be engaged with your child. You want to bond. You want to get down to their level, and then you want to be confident. So as they look at things, you want to speak with confidence. You want to speak as an adult to your child. You don't want to speak in gaga boo boo baby talk, because they completely understand what you're saying. And so I treat them with respect. I get down at their level, and I engage them in their facial.
What's your advice for the more difficult years? You know, the teen years, even tween is what some people are calling it now. Is that where you think some things start to get a little bit more struggle? Do you struggle a little bit more at that time?
Absolutely, you struggle, and you struggle because you have the peer pressure and the social pressures from other families and other people. If you could just raise your kids in a bubble and never let them explore outside or go anywhere else, they would end up being totally like you.
Yeah.
But what happens is they're independent people, and when they go out and they meet the family next door, the family down the street, the family across town, well, they've all raised their children entirely different.
Yeah.
So you really have to keep them focused. And what I always try to do with my children is say, is that how we would behave? Is that something that I would do? Is that something that you would say to me or you would say to Mom?
Yeah. Well, you've got also the really good line of scrubs and clothing and hats and this and that. Do your kids like it when you wear that, or are they like, Dad, come on? Or does it help them feel like a sense of being bonded? My older kids
are proud of me because they're just like, look at my dad. He's created this whole company, and isn't that fantastic, and things like that. My 21-month-old, he understands the word daddy.
Yeah.
So I have this on. He's just like, Daddy, dad, 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 dad. And he just pats me on the chest, and he loves it. And the whole concept is to be proud of being I'm the daddy.
Yes.
And that's why we have I'm the daddy on there. So we have comfortable sweatshirts, hats, T-shirts, anything you want to wear. And when you're the dad and you're out and about, you're at the park, you're at the car wash, you're at the beach, wear your daddy clothes. Be proud of being the daddy. Oh,
man, I think that it would be so cool, especially for kids that are that young and they just look at you and this bright smile comes up. They've got to just love them. That's my daddy right there.
That's dad is the superhero to their kids.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, for a long time. And you can check all of this stuff out. It's online. What's the website for everyone?
The website is www.daddyscrubs.com.
All right, so you can check it out, all of that, and a lot more is there. Some of the advice and a blog with some always good information on there. So
we have a great blog.